Hey guys, welcome back, and in today's video I will be continuing my Prospect Spotlight series. If you guys are new to this series, I take a closer look at different prospects entering the NFL draft and look at their high points, their low points, team fits, pro comparison, and where I think they will be drafted in the 2023 NFL draft. Today, we will be taking a closer look at possibly the best quarterback in the draft, Ohio State's Stroud. Before I get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment and let me know what other prospects you want to see me do a video on. I've already done one on Will Levis, Jalen Carter, Keon White, and more, so be sure to give those ones a look as well. And without further ado, let's get into it. Stroud is a very interesting prospect, and a guy who's been at the top of NFL draft boards for a pretty long time. Standing at 6'3", 214 pounds, Stroud was dominant at Ohio State. He has an incredible arm and can complete passes at all three levels, and he does it at an extremely high level. One of the best parts about Stroud's game is his accuracy. During his 2 years starting for the Buckeyes, Stroud threw for 85 touchdowns and only 12 interceptions. Those are insane numbers. Stroud doesn't make many mistakes, and he had extremely high QBRs in both seasons at Ohio State and didn't throw for less than a 60% completion, which is very good. He was a Heisman finalist in both of his years at Ohio State, and he doesn't turn the ball over, and he's able to make all the right throws, and he has a very good ability to put the balls in places where only his receivers can go and get. Stroud possesses really good football instincts as well. What I mean by that is he's able to command an offense really well, and his timing is impeccable. This does go along a little bit with the accuracy point I was making, but he times his throws incredibly perfect. He's able to split defenders extremely well. His timing is fantastic. He also possesses really good mechanics for a quarterback. He has a great throwing form, he's got good footwork in the pocket, and really shows his physical prowess as a quarterback, and he's always in control of the game, always in control of the offense, and is able to make plays and throws that not many quarterbacks in the country are able to do. The last area looking at Stroud that's very impressive is how well he has progressed as a quarterback. When he started his college career, his first 3 games at Ohio State were not pretty. He did not look like one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. He started off very slowly, but he really turned it around, finished with 44 touchdowns that season, and he had one of the best collegiate games of his career in the college football playoff against Georgia, where he lit it up. He threw for 348 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he showed his mobility. His opportunities to move outside of the pocket really showed that could be a strength of his game if needed to. He showed so much progression as his college career progressed. At the Combine and the Pro Day, he has really been making the news. He has looked fantastic at both of those events, and he's showed even more strengths to NFL scouts as they get a chance to closer evaluate him. He is making a very strong push recently to be the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Stroud does have some areas of concern with me. His mobility is a concern. I know everyone's going to bring up the Georgia game. Take a look at the Georgia game. He looked fantastic. He moved his legs really good against Georgia. I get that, and I'm not going to discredit that game at all. He played great against Georgia. I'm not taking that away from him. But every other game we saw him in college, he did not look like that. He really struggled to use his legs, and he does possess athleticism to use his legs. He's shown his ability to drift outside the pocket from time to time, move around. He just rarely does it. He doesn't like to take off and run the ball. He ran the ball 80 times in 3 seasons in college, and he only had 136 yards. That's not even 2 yards a carry, and those are not impressive numbers for a quarterback. I think he needs to use his legs more. The NFL right now is built on mobile quarterbacks that are able to run, make plays with their legs. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, all those guys are able to move and make plays with their legs, and especially considering that Stroud's another one of his big weaknesses is when he does struggle with pressure and protection breaks down, he tends to panic sometimes and makes bad decisions, leads to ill-timed late throws, which is a big concern with him. Sometimes his timing's off a little bit, he'll throw the ball a little late. I think if he was able to utilize his legs a little bit more in his game, move out of the pocket more, create himself more time, and even be able to run for extra yardage, that would be a huge asset to any team because we know he has the athleticism to do it. He's shown his ability to do it at a high level. I just want to see it more in game. The last area of concern with me is the type of offense that Ohio State ran. Ohio State does not run a very pro-style offense, and they run a scheme that not many NFL teams, if any, run. We've seen in the past that the transition from college to the NFL is really hard for Ohio State quarterbacks because it's hard to transition from that type of offense that Ohio State runs. Their offense runs a lot of predetermined throws, and Stroud knows where he's going to throw it before the snap is even taken in some instances, and this leads to him making very many reads and not scanning the field like he needs to, and I do think that that's something that he's going to need to work on. He doesn't always go through all his progressions. That's something that needs to be fixed, but he's usually very good at reading the field. I think Stroud is very scheme versatile, but I think he would fit best in a spread offense or a vertical offense. Something with a lot of play action passes that would allow him to use his incredible arm and be a lot more accurate, show his accuracy, which is his strength. I don't think he would benefit super well from an offense that runs a lot of RPOs and quarterback design runs, considering we talked about his mobility being a concern, but I think he could fit in any offense and be an instant starter. My pro comparison for cjstroud is two guys. Jared Goff has a lot of similarities to Stroud in that they're both very good, high-level, accurate passers, but they're not the most mobile quarterbacks in the world. They can run the ball when needed, but that's not their strength, and when under pressure, they make much more mistakes. That's his floor. I think that's the baseline for how good he could be, and Jared Goff took the Rams to the Super Bowl and was probably a top 15 quarterback in the NFL last season, but I think his ceiling is Joe Burrow. If all the cards fall right, and if he ends up getting in a good scheme with good coaching, I think he does remind me a lot of Joe Burrow. They're both incredible accuracy, have similar builds, neither are very mobile but can run the ball, and I just really think that's a good comparison for him. I do see some Joe Burrow flashes in CJ Stroud's game. Stroud possesses some incredible tools, but has some question marks due to scheme and a lack of mobility. Given a great coaching staff, I think Stroud could mold into a top 10 quarterback in the NFL in just a couple of seasons. All the tools are there, he has great size, is a good decision maker, incredibly accurate, and I think all of these things will make him the #1 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft.